Hi, this is Danny Doyle, and I'm gonna get this out of the way at the start. This chapter contains a death. Not a unit death, however. It is the death of my dignity. I accidentally deleted the footage of the successful chapter clear as opposed to the footage of the unsuccessful chapter clear. However, the only difference is at the very, very, very end of the chapter, like literally the last move I make in terms of killing the boss. I meant to put the Armor Slayer on one unit, but I forgot to do that, and in the successful clear, I did put it on the correct unit. So here you see Harden with the Armor Slayer, the foreshadowing Armor Slayer, just hanging out, going forward. In addition to the death of my dignity, and I thought about replaying this first 6 chapters, but decided against it because, like, holy shit, that would be so tedious to have to do to recreate something that, you know, just wouldn't line up. I figured that explaining the difference would be close enough. This chapter, in addition to the death of my dignity, though, contains our second thief and our first warp staff use. So that's going to be fun to watch. There are a lot of treasure chests on this map, so it's a good thing that we start out with, or we get a second thief for free. We don't have to deploy 2 different thieves, because it's this difficult combat at this point. Like, Harden and Jagan and maybe Ougma are like the only units who can reliably take on a lot of units in our army. And we want to rush forward to save those treasure chests because, as I mentioned in a previous chapter clear, enemy thieves, if they steal a treasure, we have no way of getting it back. It's just gone forever. Bye-bye. And there's a lot of treasure in this map, and we want all of it because of greedy. Theoretically, I probably could have skipped some, but I'm greedy. So I warped Doga over there to the treasure chest because Doga will choke the point. Doga can stand up to a lot of punishment. There are mages who, you know, threaten his ability to stand up to punishment, but everyone has 0 resistance, so it's not exactly like, you know, oh, Doga's bad against mages. It's everyone is bad against mages. For now. You will see, but eventually I will get units who are not bad against mages. Quite a lot of them, in fact. But here's Ricardo joining us. Julian recruits him. Hooray, hooray, hooray. And now we just try to rush forward in the hallway and strike a balance between choking the point, because it is a chokeable point, and accelerating our forces enough that we can kill those thieves, because I want the treasure. I am greedy. Lucky crit, by the way. I got 33 there. Doga is going to guard that one chest, but the uppermost chest, it presents a problem to us, because we want someone standing on there to block the thief from getting it. But I didn't want to spend a second warp staff on this chapter, and it's a good thing I didn't, because I ended up having exactly as many warp uses as I needed throughout the entire run. So I didn't have the flexibility for it. So instead, what I do is I have to kill those 2 cavaliers that are blocking the treasure chest in order to clear a path. The alternative, of course, is that I can kill that 1 cavalier on the top and then try to kill the thief, which I believe requires a crit, but seems like it's the only way, because killing both of those cavaliers in order to reach the chest just feels like it's not going to happen. Unless I use Excalibur, and this is why Merrick is the best unit. So we block the chest, and thankfully, we were able to do that because I could not get a crit. Now, the most useless chest, if I had got to choose one's chest to skip, it would be that one with 10,000 gold, because money doesn't really matter in this game. All of the other ones have items that are useful. I think one even has a stat booster. I believe also you get your first physics staff here, or reblow as they're called in this game. But it's all worthwhile. Everything is good. All the treasure. I want it all. Thieves are... You might be used to... Again, I'm going to compare this to the remake again because I'm a parody of myself. But you might be used to thieves being incredibly scary because they double everyone and can potentially one-round a lot of units because they deal a lot of damage. That doesn't happen so much in this game. Yet. There will eventually be thieves with devil swords because in addition to the devil axe, there are devil swords. And devil sword thieves are incredibly scary, incredibly difficult to deal with. But, yeah, that's, the regular iron sword thieves, not so much. Now, you'll notice that a thief did get a single treasure chest. I actually don't remember what's in that. I can look it up right now while I am doing the post-commentary. But it is the least valuable of the items, other than, again, the 10,000 gold. So I decided that it was not worth, again, expending the extra warp staff usage for. Hold on, let me pull up. This is chapter 6. So yeah, the item that got taken from me was an armor slayer. Ironic because the lack of an armor slayer is what ended up, losing me this particular attempt. I do still have that one armor slayer from last chapter that I can trade around. Or from 2 chapters ago. I got it in chapter 4 that I can trade around. That is how I ended up doing the successful clear when I ended up actually doing it. But a second one would be nice. What Doga is protecting is a Seraph Robe, because I want all the stat boosters I can get in 0% growths. Stat boosters are king. And the upper chest is a kill sword, which I like because of the high crit rate, and then I can do funny crit things. So yeah, that's the main concern of the chapter out of the way. I'm guarding all the chests, and I am making sure that my units are safe. Now, because I lost the second armor slayer, I am going to have a lot more trouble with the armor knights and the boss, who is a general, because I can't simply have multiple people attack him with the armor slayer, or multiple people attack them with the armor slayer on the same turn. Rapier is effective against armor knights, however, so that's nice, that's useful. See Kane in a little bit of danger as well, but we've got healers. We can take care of him. We can make sure our boy survives. Right now I'm just considering my options because armor knights are scary. They're difficult to get rid of, and they hit hard. And as the game goes on, they will be harder and harder to get rid of without using magic. And I really didn't want to spend Wendell's turn attacking because I want the healing. Now, the reason I killed that thief, even though I can't get the item he stole, is that I just don't want him running around dealing occasional chip damage to people, because 1 or 2 points of damage is going to add up. So just, protect your rear flank. It is the most common rule of thumb. And just to clarify as well, in the actual successful attempt that I did lose the footage of, basically everything went identically. There might be some differences in terms of someone hits or someone crits or something like that, but I used roughly the same strategy, and I did give up the same treasure chest because it just wasn't worth it. But the Seraph Robe is absolutely worth a warp staff use. That staff boosters in FE1 are busted. Seraph Robe gives +9 to HP, which is only 2 more or 4 more depending on the game than you might be used to, but other ones end up being even more of an improvement to their modern versions. We get armor on armor action here as well. And we just got to clean up these treasure chests. I guess one of the upsides to the footage being lost as well is you don't have to sit and suffer through the inventory management at the end of the map, because any map with treasure chests, there's a lot of trading that goes on. Because, well, you know, I got a lot of new items and I need to make sure that they find homes that are conducive to them, that people who can use them. Hooray! Armor Knight down. I didn't even have to use Magic Ring Armor Slayer there. That's going to become rare to impossible eventually. And so we do a little bit of healing before advancing forward, because it isn't possible to bait the rightmost archer without also baiting the mage. And, you know, mages don't deal a ton of damage, but, I mean, they are capable of destroying units in combination with the archers, though, because, you know, depending on the spell, like, Blizzard is 7 damage. I think Hellfire is 12. And there's no way of, other than the barrier staff, of course, there's no way of reducing that. Nobody has resistance. Oh, I called it the Celipharobe. It's actually called the Angel Ring in this game. They're all rings. I'm probably going to refer to stat boosters by the names that I'm used to, rather than by their FE1 incarnations whenever, you know, I'll try to be accurate when I think of it, but it's just, there's a lot going on. It's also, you know, it's M shield instead of barrier. But I am hesitant to use uses of the M shield staff, because there is a glitch that requires usage of the M shield staff that I plan on utilizing later. But in order to take on the archer, I decide to expend 1, because I think that it is too risky otherwise. That with the combination of the 2 archers and the mage, I would just get obliterated. So we're going to take on this guy, get rid of him. And we are approaching the quote-unquote end of the chapter. As I said, this is a failed attempt because I forgot to trade the Armor Slayer onto Navarre. But if I had, then I would have done basically the same thing, except for, you know, actually been able to successfully kill the general, who is pretty difficult. Generals in this game have really high defense, surprising absolutely no one. Oh, that's not Navarre, that's Ougma. I get them confused. They are remarkably similar. In the remakes, they at least make Navarre into like a Myrmidon / Swordmaster, but those classes don't exist in FE1. So we got to Excalibur, and no crit, so he's down to 2 HP. Now this is the part where Ougma attacks. I just assume the Steel Sword will deal damage, but I forgot to take into account the throne bonuses, and he gets fucking murdered. In the actual playthrough, I handed him the Armor Slayer, and he took him out that way. But, you know, 'twas not to be. I deleted that footage. Hashtag sorry not sorry. Like, comment, subscribe.